Hello and welcome to the New Normal with Steve Benaquist. I'm the New Normal and this is the Steve Benaquist. Well, it's show number 98, airing January 15th, 2021, and we are still in the New Normal library. Keeping it casual because we are in purgatory. We have still the highest death count so far since the beginning of the pandemic in the United States. That's well over 4,000 a day. We still have an outgoing President Trump who has not officially conceded and seems to be only hinting at a peaceful transition of power because he fears the repercussions that his party mates are fighting desperately against and downplaying. If you've heard the exquisite whining of Jason Smith of Missouri, a state with possibly the worst politicians, you don't have to show me the show me state. But it's hypnotic, actually. You got to listen. I made a little video yesterday, which I'll put a link to in the bottom, with him and Jim Jordan, another real triumph of human engineering. Anyway, there's all that happening. We don't know what Trump's goons are going to do. The world's a pretty scary purgatory right now. And yes, my hair is in a top knot because it was starting to get in my eyes, and I won't see my barber for another 6 months, I don't think. And I've poured myself a little cup of bourbon here. Sometimes you got to tell yourself, brother, you've earned it. And brother, I have. Sister, too. I'll tell you about my own personal new normal after I read you this quick letter. It comes to us from Deborah in Harry, Deborah in Harry, Pennsylvania. Dear Steve, why is your hair in a top knot? This was sent 3 days ago. Also, why are you not reading in an official news guy kind of voice? You were doing that for a while, and it made the show much more believable. Which, Deborah, you don't have to put it in quotation marks. That's not, unless you mean that someone famous said it, or that it's not, you're being sarcastic. Anyway, it's okay. I still love the show, and I bought myself a t-shirt. A New Normal t-shirt, that is. Keep up the good work, but start using the real news guy voice again. Thanks. Bye. You know, that bye thing is getting played out, I'll tell you. The reason I'm not talking in an official news guy voice, and I'll tell you about my own personal new normal, the last 24 hours has been shitty. Yes, and CNN and MSNBC, if you are considering me as your fill-in guy, your new opinion guy, just know that I can say shifty at the drop of a hat. I don't have to swear. Not a slave to it. So, yesterday, my girlfriend had her apartment bug bombed because she lives in a pretty groovy place, good location, East Hollywood, nice old building, rent controlled. However, she has a few freeloading roommates known as cockroaches, and she did have the place bug bombed. She was out for the 4 hours. I was out driving, or I would have been there to help with the cleanup from the get-go. She comes home, sees there's a lot of work to be done, starts vacuuming stuff up, runs the tub so she can fill it with water to use the mop, and then she slips and blacks out and wakes up who knows how much later with about 3 inches of water having overflowed the tub out on the bathroom, 3 inches outside the tub on the actual floor, in the hallway outside, under the bed, in the living room, seeping into the living room rug. And she's hurt her back really badly. She's face down in this mixture, this stew of hot water, Pine Sol, and bug fogger chemicals. And her eyes are burning. It's in her mouth. She's ingested some of it. She has it all over her face and skin. So she texts me an update. I couldn't get home fast enough. She called poison control. They said, do this, do that, do the other, rinse your eyes. But do everything you can to avoid going to the ER because of COVID. And so I come back. She hasn't been answering her phone for a while. I've picked up this eye rinse stuff. You put it in a cup and you roll your eye around it. And I come in the door, and she's lying on the bed, unresponsive. I say her name. She doesn't say anything. Her feet are cold. I pat her face which is all red and swollen. And finally, I get her to respond. Her mouth is dry, her eyes are closed. She opens her eyes, looks at me, and says, "Steve, where are you?" Then, because her back is hurt and she's so out of it, I can't roll her to her side so that I'm not just pouring the eyes. It doesn't work. You have to have the eye cup down and then roll it back in order to rinse your eye. You open your eye in a liquid. So that takes about 15 minutes. Then after an hour of that, she does like 10 rinses and she still can't really see anything. I say, "We got to go to the ER. You're not going to go blind." And she says, "Let me just shower first. I feel all itchy and, I don't want to sit there waiting." And I said, "Okay, you can shower." And she showered, and she was in the shower for an hour. I think desperately afraid of going to the ER. And in the storytelling, I didn't earn that sip, but in life, I've earned it. So I took the sip. Then, so all the while she's saying, "I'm blasting my eyes," or "My arms don't itch as much," or she looks out at a patch of wall and says, "I think I'm starting to see things better. Is that blue?" And she's looking at a white wall. There's like one blue thing on it. Or she says, "Are the lights on in here?" The lights are definitely on. So after she gets out, that's 2 hours. It's now almost 12:30 in the morning, and I say, "I gotta take you." She says, I can see a little bit more, and we spend about an hour sitting there. I really would like to kick off my shoes, put on my PJs, have a drink, and relax, and but I must stay alert, and I decided I would not do that until we knew what was up. And we watched Seth Meyers, and she starts actually correctly describing what's on the screen. And it's getting better, and she still has burning and itching, and it's kind of touch and go. And finally, we just decide we're not going to go tonight, and we'll keep an eye on things. And I said, "Just wake me up, and we'll go if anything suddenly changes." And so we slept through the night, and we woke up, and the burning was much less, and she could still see. Her back is still very fucked up. Again, Don Lemon, I don't have to fudged up, messed up, but never effed up, because F is just a substitute for fucked. So, it has a happy ending. Robert Kraft, you know what I'm talking about, buddy. He is certainly a viewer of the show. I have it on good authority. So, yeah, unfortunately, due to all that stress and other things, the apartment is still a mess. We certainly didn't do any of... You got to cover things up when the bug bombs happen. So, for those of you who think that I live in a shiny ivory tower, well, my apartment is much cleaner and in a building which doesn't have bugs. So, I could leave her high and dry at any moment, but I'm not going to till tomorrow. So, I guess that answers Deborah's question. I would say sorry for dumping such a load on you, but you know what? I just distracted you from whatever your own day was for a while. It's like watching Law and Order. Yes, you saw a brutal stabbing and a lengthy case, but it took you away from your own troubles, right? So that's just about it for this episode. Oh, we do have one more letter from Pat in Flat Plains, Kansas. Thank you, Pat. And don't think I forgot about you, Lyle. Everybody, executive producer Lyle Gerber with the message, which I don't really condone, but I will allow him to say so that the owner of the local Waba Grill doesn't beat him up and extort back the money Lyle owes him. And that's just about it. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, or at least were distracted by it. If you like it, please like it and subscribe so you never miss an episode. There are episodes where I really do talk about what's going on in the rest of the world. I'll read your letters on air if you somehow find a way to write to me. Buy a t-shirt. There's a link. And if you do donate to the Venmo or PayPal in any amount, even $1, between now and episode 100, 2 episodes away, we got Monday and Wednesday of next week when little Joey Biden is inaugurated. you will be entered for a chance to win a New Normal shirt. That's a $35 value. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Steve Benaquist reminding you that if it ain't new, which this last 24 hours really was, it ain't normal. And that's not a good thing. Cheers.